6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Hassan Gilani. First, the headlines. Caretaker Prime Minister says tragedy of Army Public School Peshawar has strengthened resolve of the nation against menace of terrorism. Information Minister has expressed Pakistan's desire to further strengthen relations with all African countries, including Ethiopia, in diverse sectors. Army Chief says peace in South Asia will remain elusive until Kashmir issue is resolved in accordance with the UN Security Council resolutions. At the United Nations, Pakistan underscored the need to protect Palestinian civilians from Israel's bombing and peacefully resolving the Middle East conflict. Kuwait's Emir Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah passed away today. On third day of Perth Test against Pakistan, Australia in their second innings were 84 for 2 at stumps today. And the details of the headlines after a short break.
आज़मीन हज के लिए खुशखबरी। रेगुलर और स्पॉन्सरशिप स्कीम में दरख्वास्तें जमा करवाने की तारीख में 22 दिसंबर तक तौसी। समुंदर पार पाकिस्तानी अपने या अपने प्यारों के लिए स्पॉन्सरशिप स्कीम के जरिए डॉलर्स में अदायगी करें और पहले आइए पहले पाइए की बुनियाद पर हज के मुकद्दस सफर पर रवाना हो। हज बदल या पिछले 5 साल में हज करने वाले आज़मीन भी दरख्वास्त देने के अहल हैं। मजीद मालूमात के लिए करीबी बैंक या वजारत की वेबसाइट विजिट करें। हुकूमत पाकिस्तान।
And now the news in detail. Caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haqqaqar has said the tragedy of Army Public School Peshawar strengthened the determination of the nation against terrorism. In his message on the 9th anniversary of APS tragedy, he said 9 years ago, the enemy tried to undermine morale of this nation in war against terrorism. The Prime Minister said sympathies of the entire nation are with the parents whose children made a great sacrifice in this tragedy. He said Principal Army Public School Shaheed Tahira Qazi and other teachers stood in front of these beasts as a rock wall to protect their students and sacrifice their lives. Anwarul Haqqaqar said nation has won war on terror and foiled all tactics of enemy to spread mischief and chaos in the country. Caretaker Minister for Information and Broadcasting Murtaza Solanki has said Pakistan is fully capable to defeat new wave of terrorism with the strength of its state institutions. In a message on the 9th anniversary of APS martyrs, he said all state institutions, including civil and military leadership, are on the same page to protect homeland and national security. He said Pakistan is moving towards lasting peace and development. Murtaza Solanki said we have come a long way to defeat terrorism and our resolve is firm to continue the war against terrorism. The 9th anniversary of tragic incident of Army Public School Peshawar is being observed today. Special prayers and Quran Khwani for the martyred students and teachers of Army Public School are being held to commemorate their sacrifices. It may be recalled that on 16th of December 2014, 6 terrorists stormed the Army Public School Peshawar and martyred 147 innocent students and teachers of the school. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Murtaza Solanki has termed cooperation between Pakistan and Ethiopia in the field of media as need of the hour. Talking to the Ethiopian ambassador Jamal Bakar in Islamabad, he emphasized that among other fields, the two countries should promote exchanges of media and cultural delegations. Murtaza Solanki noted that journalists from both countries can benefit from each other's experiences through exchange of media delegations. Information Minister said Pakistan wants to further strengthen diplomatic, political and parliamentary and commercial relations with all countries of Africa, including Ethiopia. He said Engage Africa policy is an important component of Pakistan's foreign policy. He said expanding trade relations with African countries using economic diplomacy is one of our priorities. The Ethiopian ambassador said his country attaches great importance to development of bilateral relations with Pakistan. Chief of Army Staff General Syed Asim Munir has said peace in South Asia will remain elusive until a peaceful solution to the long-standing Kashmir dispute is found in accordance with the UNSC resolutions and the aspirations of Kashmiri people. He made the remarks during a meeting with the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in New York. The Army Chief condemned unilateral and illegal Indian efforts to change status of Jammu and Kashmir, saying these are in violation of UN Security Council resolutions. General Asim Munir reiterated Pakistan's stance on the Palestine issue and urged the Secretary General to mobilize the international community for immediate cessation of hostilities in Gaza to prevent the unfolding human tragedy. He highlighted that during solution to the issue lies in two-state solution. He particularly shared deep concerns over the plight of the innocent civilians who are being brutally targeted. At the United Nations, Pakistan has underscored the need for an international mechanism to protect Palestinian civilians from Israel's bombing and intensified efforts towards peacefully resolving the Middle East conflict. Speaking at an emergency special session of the UN General Assembly on the situation in Palestine, Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Munir Akram, on behalf of a group of 14 countries, again pushed for a ceasefire in Gaza. He said the Israeli killing machine must be stopped in Gaza and the West Bank. Munir Akram said the international community must also establish an accountability mechanism and a special tribunal to investigate Israel's atrocity crimes. This is Radio Pakistan. Minister for Religious Affairs Aneek Ahmed has expressed his gratitude to Saudi government for providing best facilities for next year's Hajj. Talking to Saudi Ambassador Nawaf Saeed Al Maliki in Islamabad, he said Road to Makkah is a unique facility. He said handling all immigration-related requirements of pilgrims at local level is the best decision of the Saudi government. The Election Commission of Pakistan has issued election schedule for general elections to be held on February 8 next year. Nomination papers will be received from 20th to 22nd of this month and names of candidates would be published on 23rd. The scrutiny process will be carried out from 24th to 30th. The appeals against rejection or acceptance of papers will be filed till 3rd of next month. The revised list of candidates will be published on 11th of next month and candidates may withdraw their papers till 12th. Election Commission will allot election symbols to political parties on 13th of next month while polling to be held on 8th of February. Kuwait's Emir Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah passed away today. The Emir was admitted to hospital last month due to emergency health problem. He was 86. He had ascended the throne in September 2020 after the death of his half-brother Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. Sheikh Bishal Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah is the current crown prince of Kuwait. Caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haqqaqar has expressed deep grief and sorrow over the sad demise of Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. In his condolence message, the Prime Minister said Pakistan stands in solidarity with the Kuwaiti royal family and the people of Kuwait at this moment of grief. He also prayed for the departed soul. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference says Indian brutalities cannot force the people of occupied Jammu and Kashmir into submission and they will continue their freedom struggle till it reaches its logical conclusion. In a statement, the spokesperson of APHC urged the UN to take practical steps to resolve the Kashmir dispute in accordance with its relevant resolutions and Kashmir's aspirations. He deplored the silence of the international community on the Indian state terrorism in the occupied territory. At least 14 Palestinians have been martyred in continued Israeli strikes on northern Gaza. Israeli forces targeted 2 homes in different neighborhoods. The martyred toll of Palestinian people, mostly children and women in Gaza Strip in Israel's unabated aggression has risen to over 18,700 since October 7. On the third day of Perth Test against Pakistan, Australia in their second innings were 84 for 2 at stumps today. Earlier, Pakistan in the first innings were all out at 271. The score: Australia 487 and 84 for 2, Pakistan 271. And finally, the weather. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most plain areas of the country, while partly cloudy in upper areas during the next 12 hours. However, rain with light snowfall over mountains is likely in Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. Fog and smog is likely to occur in plain areas of Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Upper Sindh during morning and night hours. And now the headlines once again. Caretaker Prime Minister says tragedy of Army Public School Peshawar has strengthened resolve of the nation against menace of terrorism. Information Minister has expressed Pakistan's desire to further strengthen relations with all African countries, including Ethiopia, in diverse sectors. Army Chief says peace in South Asia will remain elusive until Kashmir issue is resolved in accordance with the UNSC resolutions. Kuwait Samir Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah passed away today. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.